In 2014, Hugh Masekela invited his friend and colleague, Zimbabwean musician Oliver Mtukudzi, to deliver the inaugural Hugh Masekela lecture in Johannesburg. The lecture aimed to create a platform for heritage, cultural, academic, art and social discourse to celebrate and reflect on Masekela's philosophy, his work and contribution to the liberation and betterment of society. To talk more on the life and work of Hugh Masekela, we joined in studio by his friend, Oliver Mtukudzi, of course, a Zimbabwean music legend in his own right. It's so good to have you, Oliver. Thank you very much for coming in.
No, thank you very much for having me.
You first met Hugh in 1983, already a professional musician. You know, what was that meeting like?
Well, it was kind of historical for me, because I had a show this day. I was performing, and as I was performing, I see this guy with a flugelhorn comes on stage and joined me. I didn't like the way he did it, but I liked what he was playing. So after the show, that's when I was told, that's Hugh Masekela. I knew a Hugh Masekela, but I didn't know him.
Yes.
You see? And I was like, what? Hugh Masekela playing on my set?
The guy on my stage.
Yeah, that was...
And then it was okay that he just came on and started playing.
Yeah,
then it was fine. Oh.
That was good. Yeah.
Now, last year, you were actually supposed to perform together with Hugh at the Heritage Festival, but Hugh announced that he was retiring from performing, obviously due to this fight against cancer. When was the last time you actually did perform with him?
Well, I think it's last year when we performed in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And we took the production here in South Africa. That's when I last performed with him.
Yeah.
But we had a few songs we were recording in my studio. Then, unfortunately, it's unfinished story.
Do you think you'll be able to finish them? Do you think you'll be able to? No chance.
No chance at all.
Yeah.
No chance at all. No.
Which is heartbreaking, because we can only imagine. You know, one thing that we've got to remember is that Hugh was working up until that last. You know, he wasn't someone that we are remembering from the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s. We are remembering up until last year. He was performing endlessly.
Yeah, and he was actually skanking almost to his knees, you know, on stage at 77.
Wow.
That's amazing.
What a guy.
Yeah.
What did you love most about him? I mean, things that obviously we know, seeing him as a performer and being this very amazing personality we see in the media. Yeah. But as a friend, what was so nice about him?
His humor.
Yeah.
His humor was just excellent. And his humor was kind of educational. He wouldn't joke for nothing. He would joke, but have a lesson somewhere on the joke there. I liked him for that.
Oh, it's so lovely. Now, in 2014, he also asked you to deliver the inaugural Hugh Masekela lecture. That must have meant a lot to you.
It meant a lot. I feel very much honored for a person like Hugh Masekela to actually appoint me to do that for him, when there's a lot of artists, amazing artists out there, but he chose me.
Yeah.
That was an honor to me. It was like, it's something special. I'll never forget that.
And something I hope that will only just grow bigger and bigger now, to do it in his name, have this annual lecture continuing and celebrating what he stood for. If you had to pinpoint what that was, what did Hugh stand for?
Hugh was fighting for our youngsters to really believe in themselves, not to feel inferior to any other culture. He wanted them to be proud of who they are, and whatever they do, they had to be from who they are, not what they want to be, but who they are.
And that's something that I think he recognized in you and then recognized in your music. I think it was in one of the articles when he was speaking about you, he went on to say that Oliver is a man who does not buckle to pressure to sound like someone else. He kept his own unique style and sound and continued to sing in his language. And that is a huge thumbs up, because that's something that Hugh believed in as well, is exactly what you're saying.
No wonder why he became a friend of me, birds of the same feathers flock together.
Yeah, there you go.
The same age.
You had so much in common.
In common, yes.
His music's loved throughout the continent, and I don't think we can ever downplay that. As much as he's a global icon, on the continent he means something very, very special to every African. What do you think, again, his legacy will be remembered as?
We will never forget him. I think it will gonna take a long time for Africa to forget him. He's just a legend that I think his legacy will remain forever. And I truly believe his music is gonna still carry on to generations and generations to come. They'll always learn something out of his music.
Yeah. Working on this particular song that we're playing here, that must have been great as well, because he loved to work with established artists and artists that were upcoming. I think his passion in the youth was quite incredible.
Oh yes, I mean, he truly believed, like I do, that there's no upcoming artists, because they have what we don't have and we have what they don't have. So upcoming from where?
Yeah.
You know, every artist, we respect every artist, and that was the idea behind Hugh Masekela. That's why he could work with anybody.
Yes. When was the last time that you saw and spoke to Hugh?
I saw him 3 weeks ago. Yeah, and we were talking about the heritage. How best can we have our children understand to maintain and keep our heritage as ours, you know? And I was saying, look here, we have to begin from the bottom, make these kids understand, believe in themselves, not believing in what they want to be.
What a beautiful, beautiful way to sort of end your discussion with him, this discussion on life and summing it all up. So I'm sure the news came as a shock to you as well yesterday.
It did. I wasn't, because I had come in for business, for interviews, and I had scheduled to go and see him in the afternoon. And in the morning I get the news, and it's okay, it's life, but hey, at times it's painful. It
is. Oliver, thank you. Thank you very much for joining us here on the program, sharing your memories and talking to us about the late Hugh. And, you know, I think as I started speaking to Oliver, we were just saying, you know, it's amazing. It doesn't matter how short or how long you live on this earth. I think with what Hugh has done, his time was so well spent, and he touched so many lives. And just to be seeing what people are writing on Twitter, how they're reminiscing, how they're sharing photographs of their meeting with Hugh and some of the things that he said to them, it's just incredible. I can't believe that one individual has touched so many lives. Well done, Hugh. You continue to amaze us.